Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along what you need to know to get better at Madden and grow your Mutt team. Enjoy the show. Today we are back to talk about the top 12 most disruptive run defenders. Again, we're going to look at this in a little bit more of value sort of way, more of an analytical, just what you're going to be able to build with your coin stack, how much you'll potentially want to allocate to these potential positions, and also keeping in mind you can only have three superstars out on the field at a time. So it really is important to fill in around those players. So if you don't have superstars at those positions, you want to have players that are solid in their ratings. So we'll be going through some of those players and looking at two budget players to get things kicked off. Coming in at number 12, we have 10 Hedricks, the 82 overall version. He is someone that you can plug in and play either at the defensive end or outside linebacker position at 6'7". He can do a few extra things. Also with 80 block shed, he can get through and take out some of those tight ends. Unless you have a George Kittle, he will be able to set the edge and knock that man out for you. Putting him up against linemen isn't the best idea, but he is someone that you can plug and play and build around. Coming in at number 11, I really don't have very many free safeties on my team. I have played with him in a couple of games, but my Pat Tillman now has been upgraded slightly, so he is not seeing the field pretty much at all at this point. But this Will Harris comes out with that 87 speed, 88 acceleration, and that 80 hit power. Someone you can just fit in there at your free safety position, potentially user him with that 6'1". You can do a lot of things with him, get those lurks, and do a lot of danger in the run game as well if you can get him squared up with that hit power. Coming in at number 10, someone you can acquire through the theme builders, or if you get his power up, you can use power up passes and power up all the way to this 87 overall. He is someone that is very good in the run game and is only going to get better as the year continues on. He's going to have a power move that will also make him very special at that position. I believe he's going to be the best right end in the game, and especially in the run game with that 77 speed, 89 strength. There are ways of going out and acquiring him by not playing the theme builders. You can use that training, and you would just have to get his power up again and either use a power up pass or get his elite card. Coming in at number 9, we have Ken Houston. He is someone that if you just want to power him up to his version right below this, it is a viable option. I believe that it's 87 overall. He'll be a very good strong safety, and if you do not have a very good user, you can use him in the box as well. As you can see across the board, he is very, very good at playing the safety position, one of the best that we do have in the game. He is a little bit pricey to get to that 90 overall, otherwise he would be a little bit higher on the list, but if you do have an elite team, he should fit in somewhere on your team. Coming in at number 8, the premier defensive tackle in the game for shutting down the run, John Henderson. I am scared to see some of the cards that he's going to come out with later on in the year. His speed is never going to be elite, but again, being that 6'7" just sets him apart from some of those other players. Having that 88 block shed, just using up the power up version of him is the reason that he does make this list. At this point, this 89 overall card probably is a little bit too expensive for what you can get for him, but just using up that power up version of him going up to that 87 overall can be very, very helpful for that middle of your scheme. Kenny Clark has worked pretty well for me as well, but I really would get the power up for John Henderson and start building that up if you are worried about your run defense. Coming in at number 7, we have Mel Blount. As you can see over there on the right, I do have him on my team as well. A lot of people have been fitting him in at that free safety position. I believe Gut Fox and Chaos have had them there, at least with their lineups that I have seen. He is a very valuable player on my team. He can play a lot of different positions. He's played the slot, outside corner, that free safety position, so can be very valuable for your team as well. He's tremendous in the run game. Love that height. Just remembering that going into the end of last year, that is something that sets players apart. And if you do have those physical attributes that kind of come along with that, you can be a very special player. Coming in at number 6, we have this Patrick Willis. If you are able to get this version of this card by pulling him out of packs, it's the only reason or the only way I would advise getting him. He is a tremendous player and the premier run-stopping middle linebacker, plays a lot like a Ray Lewis, but just potentially does a little bit better because of his stats at this point in the game. Getting him powered up to, I believe, an 89 overall is a very good option as well. If you are able to do that, he'll play just along your Shaz, or if you didn't choose Shaz and don't have the coins to get this 91 overall, I would absolutely go out and get that Patrick Willis at that 89 overall version. Coming in at number 4, we have Adrian Amos. He has the speed and hip power and just ability to fly around the field. He is a tremendous player to play as a user, but with his play rec, if you're playing in a zone, he is someone that you can just let roam by himself. The reason he makes it so high up on this list is kind of the dearth of safeties that can play in the box, play over top. He is someone kind of like a Mel Blount that can come in and out of a couple different positions. If you're playing a hard cover 2, even playing him in at cornerback wouldn't be a terrible option. And just like that Myles Garrett, you can just power up pass a lot of his card. You just have to get his power up card, and you can just get that by completing one solo with the theme builders. So it's just a tremendous option for you. You can just go out and get pretty much a cheaper Ken Houston at that level. And if you just want to play through the solos, it would pretty much be free. Coming in at number 3, we have Lawrence Taylor, the premier run stopper on that edge. He is an absolute hitman out there, tremendous in the passing game along with that run game. With that speed, that block shed, you're just not going to see that. Along with that strength, acceleration, tackling, just comes along with everything that you will need. He is getting far less expensive at this point, but I probably would go with his power up version, and as better linebackers come out, potentially go out and get him as he gets a little bit cheaper, add him in at that point and just wait until you're able to get that 95 overall version, as that eventually will come out. Again, you can potentially wait on that, just get him powered up to that 92 and wait for that 95 to get a little bit less expensive as well. That LT will play very, very well for you, and at this point you're just adding a few plus 2s and 3s. Coming in at number 2, we have this Ryan Shazier. I have loved playing with him since franchise when he first came into the NFL, and now in Madden Ultimate Team, I'm very excited they have given him a few cards. Last year being the Master, and now being a captain on this team. He is now able to walk on the football field, catch a few balls. It is very exciting to see him kind of starting to make that recovery. And outside of his story, he is still a premier linebacker in the NFL, and he is tremendous at what he can do. And his entire card, you can just use training for, and with training continuing to trend down, it is something that will be beneficial for you. If you just have his 88 overall version, tremendous card as well, plays very well alongside that Patrick Willis, but he will continue to get upgrades at that captain spot, so will be less expensive continuing on through the year as well. And coming in at number 1, might be a little bit lackluster since he's only an 85 overall on my team. But Patrick Tillman, someone again that has a great story, but that's not the reason that he is on this list. All that you have to do is grind for him. I have started working towards that, knocked out a few more. He's been hovering around 80 for a long period of time. Now I've got him to that 85, and I'm very excited to continue on with his path and continue to use him in the box as a tremendous player. Again, all that you have to do is grind for him, and as your team gets better, he will get better as well, so he'll grow with your team throughout the year. So someone that you will not even have to go out and purchase, just someone that you need to work on and focus on a couple of stat categories potentially. If you just need 1,000 more yards passing, you just might have to go out and play a couple solos and get that knocked out. But that's what I have for you today. Definitely go out and get some of these run defenders if you are having issues. Look at Blockshed's speed. You'll be able to set the edge a little bit better. And in that middle, just have those big, thick guys that have a lot of strength. That is what I have for you today. Height always helps as well. I wish you all the best and take. Thank you for checking into the Irish Orangutan channel. Keep coming back for more Madden knowledge. There will be consistent videos up every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to see them all. Come by Twitch to engage and hit me up on Twitter at Irish Orangutan. Take care and much love, everybody.